Captain's Log, subdate 200421.9. After installing a software update to the shields, I keep on blue screening. I think Windows is in cahoots with the Sith. I think it's safe to say I'm not best impressed with what has transpired today. Moving on before I get quite irritated about this blue screen nonsense, I should have just gone with Linux. There is a new video on Moisky Live, and I'm streaming over on Twitch tonight at 8:30 PM GMT. Links to both in the description down below. Now today I have a rather odd subject I want to cover, something that hasn't actually received much widespread criticism. It hasn't been covered by many media outlets, which puts me in a bit of an odd position, because the claims made in the articles have me sat on the fence whether or not it is real or not, because we don't have the videos to go with it. I did do some digging and did find a little interview here and there, but as the conversations are all in Arabic, I'm unable to ascertain whether or not, because I can't translate it, whether any of it is the legitimate information the articles are putting forward. So, we are in a position where we're going to treat this as if it is real, but we are going to use it more to make a point about those who are intolerant in other countries. For this, we need Naofal Moussa, or Sophia Tolouni. Sophia Tolouni is a trans woman who is based in Turkey. She is from Morocco. She had a verified Instagram account with more than 627,000 followers, which is quite impressive. I have about 480. Link below. Go follow me. On Monday this week, she used her nightly Instagram live series. There is a YouTube channel called that, by the way, and she does feature in one of them. In that series, which is watched typically by over 100,000 people, she was instructing her followers, notably the straight female followers, to download gay dating apps and use them to find gay men in the vicinity. Now, the reason for that is because some apps will tell you how far away you are from someone who is registered on one of those apps by distance of hundreds of meters. Not that I am an expert on it, it is something I've derived from the articles. I didn't actually realise a gaydar was actually a thing. It should be noted, in Morocco, any form of same-sex intimacy, which would include kissing, is illegal and punishable for up to 3 years in prison. There is no law against harassment or discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. A number of men did come forward after this all happened, they themselves being gay and in Morocco, to describe how they are now afraid, because they are watching other gay men get outed on social media, beaten up by their families, kicked out of their homes, and some disappearing. Sophia Tolouni listed herself as a beauty influencer. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but here is a translated quote from one of the posts. While she did not explicitly tell her followers to cause harm, a number of pictures started to circulate, including homophobic captions. Sophia Tolouni also told her followers that 3 famous gay dating apps are Grindr, Planet Romeo, and Hornet, adding, "Listen, girls and women that think they have manly gay husbands and sons. These apps will show you the gay people who are near you, 100 meters, 200 meters, or even 1 meter, just near you in the living room since everyone is home now. It could even show you your husband, your son. It could show you your neighbor from next door. It could show you your cousin, your uncle, everyone." From that quote alone, it doesn't imply that she's trying to get anyone to go in their direction at all, which is where I feel like I'm also on the fence with how she intended things to go and how things have been perceived. Because sadly, there is no statement from her because she doesn't have a Twitter. So one cannot be truly fully sure of what the original context was and intent, because there's nothing from her to indicate whether there was malice from it, whether she was just doing it to show a point about the app, or whether she was actually trying to get people to out them. If that makes sense, thank you. If it doesn't, I do apologise. I'm trying to be a bit on the fence here because I can't be sure without seeing the video and having it translated. All I have are a couple articles that have circulated, not mainstream, along with a few tweets here and there that all pounce on it and do outrage. I'd rather not focus on that. I'd rather have the context. But then there is an additional bit of context provided by Pink News that doesn't help Sophia Tolouni at all, where she held up her phone and showed screenshots her followers had taken of gay men's dating app profiles, which Pink News are not republishing because of the safety concerns for the men, which I can respect. But of course, all you actually have to do is blur those out. Knowing that the profile thing has been shared, though, the picture of her holding it up, is actually quite important to proving that this is in fact true or not. There are also a number of messages that have been sent to some of the people on those apps who have been tracked down using Sophia Talumi's instructions, some threatening some fairly extreme violence because sexuality is so damn blasphemous. Which is interesting because, according to another article, Sophia Talumi, or Naofal Moussa, has committed blasphemy after encouraging women to open gay-specific dating apps. Interesting. By the way, this is a picture of some of those rather nasty messages that have been sent and translated. Yes, lovely intolerant as always. The fallout for this would include some people who have spoken up, sharing their own experiences about what has transpired since. I'm going to go with Sophia Talumi for the rest of this because I can't pronounce the other name properly, and it's lazy, I know, but seriously, there are two names. I woke up to my friends and people I know pictures all over Facebook with the most horrible and homophobic captions. I was in a constant state of fear and panic, wondering if my pictures were there too, and when this will reach my parents. This comes from a 19-year-old man living in Morocco with his parents, and he has had to hide everything from them since the day he had commented on a picture of a gay Moroccan man and his parents had found out. Their response to that, by the way, was to beat him up because he is engaging with deviant people. Right. A gay man in Casablanca also commented that she has ruined the lives of so many people just in the past 4 days, with this man in question knowing of at least 40 men who have been exposed and kicked out of their homes in Casablanca as a result of Sophia Talumi's videos. The queer community in Morocco has been noted as living in peace for a while. As long as nobody knows you're gay, you are fine. That is a quote from a man called Nassim, who we were just talking about, who knows 40 men at least. It's a damning statement for the kind of country and culture you live in, where just to be peaceful, you have to hide everything about who you are. There is an odd amount of silence on this, and I find that to be quite deafening and damning, because the only outrage I've seen has been in Spartan comments around Reddit, not so much on Twitter. But then again, this isn't getting as much mainstream attention, but licking a toilet, yes. Clout chasers are apparently more interesting and of course more damaging. Whether this is true or not, though, I'm kind of torn. I'm going to link about 6 different articles down below. None of them mainstream, and I don't know if any of them are trustworthy. But it does put me in a very difficult and odd position. Because if it is one rather large PO, it's a very odd PO to have. And if it is real, then this is incredibly dangerous from somebody who may well hate, but we can't prove it. Part of me still thinks they were just showing off, not fully understanding the consequences, others believing that it could be, and also I kinda get this one as well, an intentional attack on gay men because they themselves never fit in with them before they transitioned. With this, I'm very much interested to know what you think. If you are at all interested, please read all the articles I've linked down below. One of them will require a Google Translate, but thankfully your browser should do it for you as it is in Indonesian. Yes, useful. The syntax, delightful. Please do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you over on Twitch tonight, have a fantastic Tuesday, and thank you all for listening. Okay, so I thought I had finished this, but it turns out there's something else I found while I was rendering, and that is this had circulated enough to hit some LGBTQ communities, and they themselves offered and issued statements on it, meaning my thought that it might be a Poe is far less likely now. I will link it, it's from The Insider. By all means, go give it also a read and draw your own conclusions.